Well, it didn't take long after Jerry Brown, unveiled his budget yesterday to tell us just how thrifty, how frugal he's been, how he's been a good watchdog over the taxpayer monies. And, of course, we want to point out again, the spending's going up, okay?
The spending is going up.
It's headed towards $100 billion in the general fund.
Yes, we're going to tell you this every day until your ears bleed. The tax increase was $6 billion. The spending went up $6 billion. There were not going to be any cuts. And out of this new $6 billion, more than half is not going to the schools. Ha! They fooled you.
You gave a ha? That's sad for the K through 12 parents.
Yeah, how about
public
that?
School
yeah,
children.
I got to vote for the children. They're going to do cuts. Oh, okay. You keep believing that.
And for all of his bald wizardry, he hasn't solved anything. The pundits love him now, like that Red Skelton with the L.A. Times just thinks that Jerry Brown is a godsend.
That's right, because he screwed the rich over.
Well, here's the bottom line. You and I have watched this for a long time here in California, and you know what's going to happen next. We're going to eventually have a bit of an uptick in the economy. And because Jerry Brown hasn't changed the way they collect taxes, remember, most of it is coming from the income tax, and most of that is coming from a select group of wealthy people. We've explained that to you. He didn't change that system. He made it worse, actually, by raising the rates on the top taxpayers.
Oh, if there's
we're even more dependent on that crowd.
If there's another recession and the wealthy's income goes down, there's going to be bigger budget deficits than ever before because more of the income tax is dependent on the wealthy. The more you depend on the wealthy, the bigger deficits you have when you're in down times. And we're not in up times right now.
Well, and I'd like to see some of those people simply leave. We don't know yet what's going to be the impact, but the income tax rates have never been higher on the wealthier Californians. I wonder if any of them will make decisions concerning this.
And they can move to any other state and get a tax break. There's no other state that has a higher rate than California. So if in any way they can do their work online, they will. And they'll take their money and keep it. I mean, can you imagine? Let's say you make $2 million, right? And from $1 million to $2 million is taxed at 13%. That's $130,000. $130,000.
That's a few nice cars.
And if you just walk across the state line and you can do your work in Nevada, that's $130,000 just to wake up in Nevada every morning extra.
Wow.
People, and a lot of people are doing this. I mean, low tax states have increased their population. High tax states have lost population. Look at the census over the last 10 years. You look at places like New York and California, very high tax states. Their population has gone down, excluding immigration. It's gone down. If you just look at American citizens' legal residence.
So the latest on Jerry Brown and the way this is worded in the L.A. Times can only lead me to conclude what I'm about to conclude. In order to help implement President Obama's health care overhaul in California, Jerry Brown has proposed a major expansion of the state's public insurance program in the new state budget. He's earmarked $350 million in his spending plan to help enroll more Californians in Medi-Cal, the state's health insurance program for the poor. They're going to simplify the enrollment rules. You know what that actually means. It's like the mortgage thing from a few years back, right? Yeah. How much do you make? We don't care how much you make.
Yeah,
you're
how
poor.
much you make?
Sit down, you're poor.
You're poor. Yeah, you look poor to me. So here's
They want to cover residents who are, they claim, currently eligible but not enrolled. But when I hear enrollment rules will be simplified, I don't think they're going to care,
They're going to get rid of the requirements.
Now, the cost will be split between California and the federal government. That's kind of how it works under this. But
remember the statistic that we've been telling you about since the Wall Street Journal reported this in March. Over a 20-year period from the mid-'80s to the mid-2000s, we added 10 million people to the state, 7 million added to the Medicaid program. 7 million, which is Medi-Cal here in California.
All right. If you want to know what that or where that came from, you just go to our website, KFIAM640.com, the John and Ken page, and you'll see down the left-hand side tax revolt links. You can find the article with those statistics in there. And I believe it's called California's Greek Tragedy.
Yeah, so 7 million added to Medi-Cal, 7 million people, only 150,000 tax filers added to the tax rolls. So, if you're paying taxes, they're going to be whipping you harder and harder and harder. You better keep earning money. You better keep doing well because the machine this huge machine has to be fed with more of your hard-earned tax dollars, because now he's ramping up to give away Medi-Cal to many, many more poor people. And there's just a limit to how many poor people you can take care of. There is a limit to this.
You know what the number they think that they can get to sign up with this? 1.4 million Californians could be eligible for Medi-Cal, although they think about 910,000 more would actually sign up.
And we've got, as we've told you, 1/3 of the welfare cases in the entire nation. You know, everybody talks about...
We are one of the most generous public benefit states. Simple.
Everybody talks about fair share.
Don't forget the good old statistical nugget, right, John? 12% of the country's population.
Right.
And we have, 25% of the welfare cases?
32%.
32%.
It's almost fully a third. And there is just no way a state can support that many people. But when you have this kind of these generous benefits, and you have Jerry Brown wanting to make it easy, a more simplified way of accessing these generous benefits, and you've jacked up taxes ever higher on the wealthy, this doesn't end well. There's no way economically this can end well. There aren't enough wealthy people to supply.
We're one of the death spiral states, as we've pointed out. That's another article, too, by the way, with the tax revolt links on the website. The death spiral states, and California is one of them.
Because
we're headed towards Greaseland because we just keep... the population of people dependent on the government grows in this state, and the population of people who are not dependent and work more for the private sector leave. It's just been the trend.
What's the other statistic that we love to frighten you with? And it's true, though. For every 100 workers we have in the state that are paying taxes, we have 140 people taking taxes. 140 making, 140 taking.
Yeah, that's from the death spiral story.
Yeah, that's right.
The statistic they use about death spiral states, this is where the takers outnumber the makers.
We have it all on the website. It's all documented. It's all linked. It's all statistically been proven. Nobody refutes any of this stuff. It's absolute fact.
Now, the $350 million, the way I read it now, is not going to spend that money just to sign up people. Brown is calling it a placeholder figure, trying to just tell Washington that California is committed to expanding Medi-Cal, and here's our down payment on it. I don't know how much you're going to actually spend, but probably what you're going to... Well, I shouldn't say this, should I?
What?
You're probably going to hear ads on KFI.
Oh, yeah, you will.
Remember the food stamp girl?
Well, at least we get some of the tax money back here at the station.
I'm sorry, CalFresh family. What did I say?
In fact, here's the new group. They want...
But that's how they'll do it, right? They're trying to raise public awareness. They buy advertising.
Here's the new group they're targeting. They want to cover low-income Californians currently not eligible for the program. Adults without children who are earning up to $15,415 a year. $15,415. If you're an adult without children and that's all you make, go call Medi-Cal. They have services for you.
You just did an ad.
That's right. I did an ad. Well, I got a little thing going on the side here.
It reminds me that every time, it'll probably happen again today, we talk about in-home supportive services, the program that helps people take care of their old or sick relatives, right, and pays you. We always get an email. Oh, really? How do I sign up for that? Give me some guidance.
It's gotten to the point where we're afraid to discuss these things publicly because
people ask, how do I sign up?
Yeah, there's too many people in the audience. It's the Moist Line people. They call up and they want the benefits.
Now you know how we got to the figure 12% of the population, 32% of the welfare kids.
That's okay. You reelected all the guys who created this world, so we'll just live with them. We'll keep rolling along here.
We got more coming up. We'll bring you the latest that we know about the discussions over the gun violence. Also next, as you know, a week from Monday, Obama is inaugurated for his second term, and man, he's asking for big bucks to help out with the parties. It's coming up.
John and Ken Show.